What's going on, everybody? Back with another show on 49er First Takes with my co host, SF Gold Rush. Here to talk about yesterday's devastating loss in Week 18 to the Seattle Seahawks, who now have the one seed home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. Me and Mike were talking off camera about just how frustrating uh, just a game and just thinking about it and dwelling on it, it gets worse, I feel. And now it looks like the Niners are going to Philadelphia. A
Off
banged up,
the link.
banged up 49ers team going against a team who rested all their starters this week because they couldn't improve their seating. And this was the worst case scenario for the 49ers, dropping all the way to the sixth seed. But Mike, they did it to themselves. They have nobody to blame but themselves. I have so many different opinions, and we're just going to jump all over. We're not going to really have specific topics. I'll let you go first, and then I'll try to articulate what I want to say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place too right now. I don't even know where to begin. It just seemed like, the energy from this team was very low. They came out very flat. My biggest concern was the offense going 3 and out right away, and it came to fruition. And not only did they go 3 and out, Aaron, but it was just like they couldn't even get positive yardage.
Yeah.
It was very crazy to watch, and it's one of those things where you kind of knew it was over before it even started, right? Like the second the Seahawks started driving the ball down the field, and you're like, oh, this is deja vu. Here we go. Niners are going to be playing from behind. And the fact that they went for it on fourth down, like I knew when that third down play was going to happen. I told my buddy, I was like, hey, they're going to go for it on fourth. Watch. If they don't get this first down, they're not going to kick a field goal. They're going to go for it on fourth down because they know if they don't get it, they know their defense is going to be able to stop the Niners. And I think that sent a pretty big message to, the 49ers from Mike McDonald, like saying, hey, I dare you guys. Like, I don't believe in your offense. I believe my defense is better. And this is how this night is going to go. So bad juju right off the start. Yeah, it was bad. The game was over before it even started. We couldn't even enjoy like a good game like the Bears game where it was back and forth and then the ups and downs. It was just like all down. It was it.
Me and you talked about this during our when you jumped on cover 3 a couple days ago, Thursday. And then you said before, and then you texted me and you were like, the Niners go down 2 scores. It might have been you, maybe it was somebody else, but essentially if the Niners go down 2 scores, they're done. Like because if the Niners go 3 and out here, or it was something along the lines of the Niners, because their defense is so bad.
Yep.
And they can't stop a nosebleed. And it was one of those situations where it came to be just like we unfortunately envisioned it. If the Niners weren't able to score a lot of points. So I don't know, man. Like, who do you blame? Like,
there's one for sure person to blame. It's Kyle. This is all on Kyle. 100% on Kyle. There's nobody else. I don't blame Brock Purdy. He was like running for his life last night. That left side,
no time at all.
So fat. Austin Pleasant's, I mean, mind you, he's a practice squad, offensive lineman, and it definitely showed last night because he was not good whatsoever. They couldn't run to his side. They couldn't protect to his side. George Kittle had to stay in and chip block. Everyone had to help, and they still couldn't get protection for Purdy. The wide receivers, no one was open. Purdy had no time. I mean, yeah, maybe in a perfect world, there was a couple people open Purdy could have hit, but like in reality, Purdy had no options last night. And I blame Kyle's play calling. He didn't adjust. He didn't make any adjustments to try to like figure out like, hey, let's get in rhythm here. And it's 100% on Kyle, because if you were to tell me before the game, Aaron, that, hey, Niners, all they need is 14 points, they win this game, I would have bet my whole life. I'm like, oh, we're winning 100%. We're definitely scoring 14 points. The fact that they couldn't even get across midfield to even attempt field goals, it was just that's 100% on Kyle because he's the one that was in charge of this offense. Yeah, the defense was bad in their spots, but Robert Saleh did keep them to 13 points, and the special teams got them to miss 2 field goals. It's the offense, 100% the offense.
And it's Kyle getting outcoached again by Mike McDonald. It's happened before, and it's insane how like we kind of sing the praises of Kyle being this genius and this guy being in his bag. And the last couple of weeks, man, it looked like he was right.
Yep.
And here comes an elite defense who has a really good defensive line and a good secondary and a good pass rush and a good run defense, like solid across the board. I mean, and you have no answers. 4 quarters, no answers, no rebuttal. You got into the red zone in the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. That was the first time you even sniffed that side of the field. Unacceptable. And everyone wants to blame Brock as usual, because that's how it goes. Who are we going to blame? Let's blame Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
The offensive line was absolutely abysmal in this game. They didn't have any time. There was no way in hell they were going to run the ball in this game. You could tell early that Kyle abandoned it. Like I mentally abandoned the run in my own mind watching the game, and Kyle did the same thing. There was you go a couple plays against that elite, stout, really big defensive line, and it's just like, yeah, that's not happening. Problem is you turn into a drop pack passing team, which the 49ers are not. They don't have the requisite weapons on the outside. They have no speed. Nobody's scared of our offense on the field. We're slow. We're old. And it shows. And too much relying on old veterans to kind of like carry the offense all the time. The Kittles, the McCaffreys, Juwan Jennings beat up all year.
Yep.
The one thing that really pissed me off yesterday, and I know you completely agree, is like everybody was playing through injuries, or everybody was playing hurt. They say if you're hurt, you play. If you're injured, you can't. Everybody was playing hurt yesterday. And to hear that stupid ass report that Ricky Pearsall, if the game would have been on Sunday, he would have been able to play. I'm over this guy. I'm
in
so
the biggest
over this
game
guy.
of the year. You just
Biggest
needed
game of the year.
one more day, guys. One more day. Come on, dude.
Yeah. And I was watching Larry Krueger's stream.
Mm-hmm.
He was in an elevator with somebody within the building.
Okay.
And he got an idea that like people within the organization were not very happy about that decision for him not to play yesterday.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Like, I think Purdy, I think he was taking it easy on himself and he didn't want to play. And what's funny is people get on me for saying he's glass. People get on me for saying I call him princess. They're like, oh, what is he supposed to do? He can't help himself. Like, we're 2 years in. We have no idea what he is other than he's injury prone like hell. Like you said, but I asked you like last week, what is your assessment of him? And you said, honestly, he's an injury prone player. And yeah, he can get open and make catches, but it's not like he's killing anybody downfield. He doesn't have any deep speed. He doesn't have any separation speed. He doesn't do anything other than what does he do that is not replaceable? Tell me what he does. He's a man beater. Oh, okay. But he can't play more than 2 quarters in a row or 1 game in a row without re-injuring something. I've never seen it's like the Dante Pettis situation all over again. He's got way more talent than Pettis. It's just another soft-ass player who doesn't want to push their body and put their body on the line for a division game in a 1 seed where you get the rest and all this stuff. You play and we win. You can rest your little sorry ass soft body, and then we don't have to hear about it. But no, you couldn't play. Trent, I have no problem with Trent missing the game. He played all year. He hurt his hamstring. What is he going to do?
No, that's different. Trent has played through injuries before, and he's compromised himself prior. So I mean, he has a track history. Trent gets the tip of the cap. Kittle's coming in. It was obvious he was still hurt. Right. He wasn't 100%. That was more than obvious. And, it was very apparent to me the very first time Pearsall got hurt. I think it was Jacksonville, right? is when he hurt his knee, and he came out and he pulled himself out of the game, right? He took himself out. He went to the sidelines like, oh, something didn't feel right, so I'm gonna sit out. So he has that type of mentality. He doesn't have the Fred Warner where, oh, my ankle's snapped in half and I'm gonna be on the field like he was all last year.
I'm gonna
right?
try to get back by the
No, I'm saying
divisional
even
playoffs,
last year.
Right.
Last year, he was playing on one leg the entire
That's right.
season.
That's right.
Even
You're
though
right.
the entire team was hurt. He could have easily been like, dude, I'm done. It's not worth it. No, he stayed on the field. As a first round pick, I would expect that kind of behavior from like a Kendrick Bourne or somebody. But if you're going to be a first round pick and your number one thing when you told John Lynch is, don't worry, I'm not injury prone, and you're going to take yourself out every other week because you don't feel good, but you can dance on the sideline like no other, right? You'd be dancing with the stars. I just don't understand how this is the most important game of the year and you can't step up for your team. But hey, dude, even if I'm a decoy, let me go out there. Because they have to honor, they have to honor me with somebody. Just be a decoy. But Fred, Kittle's out there pushing through it. I don't know.
Jennings got hurt during the game, got the wind knocked out of him. He came back in. Purdy got it pounded at the end. Yep. And they said if the game would have, if he had a game, he could have gone back in if there was more time. So everybody's getting busted up in this game. Everybody's playing hurt. Everybody doesn't feel good. And then you got one guy who you really needed in this game. You really needed him. Like his participation would have been greatly appreciated. And you can't go because you're dealing with it. I don't have any respect. People talk about like what he did in college and how he wasn't healthy in college. I don't care. He's been totally injury prone in the pros. He's done nothing. He does nothing but be injured and miss games. When you explain him to another fan or a fan of another fan base, how do you explain him other than
injury prone?
He's injury prone. What does he do physically on the field that cannot be replicated by another pick? Nothing.
No, nothing. Kendrick Bourne has come in and outproduced him.
Outproduced him almost 1,000 yards. Kendrick Bourne, an old, scrappy, not real fast, not real good veteran receiver, outperformed this dude. And he's supposed to be the guy that's going to take over for Brandon Ayuk? Get out of town, man. Get out of here with that mess. And then there's people out. It's another wasted pick. It's another high pick on a player who that's on Kyle and John, man. Like for the first time in a long time, Mike, I'm looking at John and Kyle and putting responsibility on them for building this team the way that it is. Like you come into the season and you tell your veterans, oh, well, I don't want you guys to look at this as a Super Bowl or bust year. Just worry about getting better every day and one day at a time. Like, okay, whatever. And then your GM's talking about cutting cost, going on the cheap, building through the draft, even though you don't have any depth to show for it on your team, because your team's going to be hurt most of the year because that's what you guys are known for until you're not. And you draft a bunch of players. And so we go into the season and the expectations are we have an easy schedule so we can get some wins, but we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl. Then you start to have a successful season and you start looking like, hey, maybe there's something here. And your GM decides you're not worth the investment to add somebody at the deadline. Screw you. We don't believe in you. And then you start playing really well down the stretch, and it's apparent that your defense could totally use more help on the defensive line because they are so banged up and they have no pass rush. But you didn't want to make the move to do it because you're worried about picks that you miss on incessantly every year in the first round. So that's on you guys. And then we're supposed to I don't even know how to feel that's why I told you I don't want to buy in. I kept telling you I didn't want to buy in. And you're like, you got to buy in. I'm like, I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. They don't have the requisite defense if you're going to make a long playoff run. And what happens yesterday? The defense, they're still awful. They gave up almost 200 yards rushing. They don't get any pressure on the quarterback. They don't sack anybody. But they actually hold their own yesterday, and your offense scores 3 points.
Yep.
3 points.
Yeah,
so
that's on Kyle.
I don't even know how to feel about this team at this point, brother.
I mean, my thing is like, why weren't you using Jake Tonjes more with Kittle? The offense wasn't moving. Like, dude, you have to change stuff up. You have a Jake Tonjes. Kittle's hurt. He's compromised. I get it, but he can still block like a MFer. I saw him out there blocking his ass off. Use Jake Tonjes out there. That dude has great hands. That's another weapon for you to use. Why wasn't Sky Moore out there playing wide receiver to help add speed to the offense? You know what I mean? Even just stretch the field, even be a decoy. Just change it up, Kyle. If something's not working, it ain't going to work the second half. You know what I mean? Like, this defense was on top of everything. It was almost like they had like 20 players on the field. Like, there was no openings. Everything was right in front of them. Like, it was just like, dude, these guys are swarming all over the place.
I see people doing the old, like they do every time we have a season where we don't reach our potential. Well, we had a lot of injuries. Just imagine. It always starts like that. We had a lot of injuries, but just imagine if we had a healthy Ayuk, and just imagine if we had a healthy Ricky Pearsall and a healthy Warner. I'm sick of the injury excuse, man. I don't want to hear it anymore. You're 10 years into this and you still have that problem. And then like you want to use it as an excuse. You don't really say it, but you kind of imply it in press conferences. Well, we do the best we could. It's a next man up mentality, but eventually, I'm sick. I don't want to hear about the defensive injuries anymore. I don't want to hear it. You don't do anything about anything. You don't look into figuring maybe you have a physical trainer health staff issue that you might need to change. Nope, that's going to stay exactly the same. They say, like in sports, if you stay the same and you don't get better, you're going to be like, you either get better
or worse, right?
You never stay the same, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that there is a problem within that organization when it comes to injuries. Now, of course, the Bosa injury. I mean, Bosa's injury prone as all get out. It's his third knee injury since high school. So, I mean, like, that's not a big surprise. The injury to Mykel Williams, that's a freak injury. And then you have the injury to Fred Warner, again, another freak one. But like all the high ankle sprains, all the strains and all the same, it's all the same stuff all the time. The hamstrings. It just gets to a point where, like, I'm sick of, I don't want to hear the injury as an excuse of why you couldn't attain your goals. Figure it out. Fucking figure it out. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm done with it.
It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. I think, Trent Williams not playing in that game last night had a massive, massive impact on the offense because Austin Pleasance was getting just beat to shit. And if Purdy had just maybe a little bit more time, he would be able to get some passes off. So that probably changed the offense quite a bit. And having to have George stay in and block and Juice stay in and block, like missing Trent was a lot bigger than I thought. And I had this weird feeling because everyone's like, oh, Austin Pleasance played really well against the Bears. And I'm like, yeah, but their defense is not that good. And then guess what now? You have this genius defensive head coach who's going to attack Austin Pleasance because now there's tape on the guy, right? And they're going to exploit him. And they absolutely did. He was like ranked in like the 30s for his pass blocking and his run grade and his run blocking grade too. So it was just like, man, if Trent was there, probably would have opened up the offense a little bit just to be able to get the passes down the field. I think the game would have been a little bit different. But, Kyle didn't adjust his play calling, so you have to put it all on him.
It's funny to hear the people that talk about next year and we can be healthy and it's like, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that we're going to be healthy next year? You're going to go with that line of thinking when as an organization 9 times out of 10 that's never the case. That's why every season has to be taken seriously regardless, because you don't know. There's no guarantee that McCaffrey's going to stay healthy next year. He's another year older.
Yeah,
There's no
now we have another
guarantee
year
Kittle.
older of Kittle, another year older of
Yeah,
Trent, another year
another
older
year,
of
right?
Stinky.
So this mindset of like taking a year off, and you have to cut, because Jed doesn't want you spending any of his money. That's on you again as an organization with bad salary or bad contract signings with guys like Debo, guys like Ayuk, guys like Javon Hargrave, all these other players that you pay for, they're not even here anymore, and it's just it feels like eventually things come due on franchises. Like poor drafting comes due eventually, like the Trey Lance miss, trading all those picks. It all comes due after a while, Mike. Like eventually it's going to come home to roost, all these mistakes. And then I look at it this year and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like every year should be taken seriously. And they're like, oh, we're not going to win it this year. And that's the way we want to approach it. And we're going to be really cheap this year because we're trying to cut salary. So like if the coaches don't believe in you and the GM doesn't believe in you, like like remember the report that said that people within the organization were pissed that they didn't make a move at the deadline as an indictment, like they're not worth it. If I'm a defensive player, maybe that's why the effort has been so piss ass poor. Maybe they know that their front office doesn't believe in them. You know?
It's funny. Speaking of the draft, I'm going to give you a list of names right here. Okay. This shows you the difference between the quality of the ability to scout talent with Seattle and John Lynch. All right. These are Seattle's picks in the first 2 rounds of the last 4 drafts. Okay. You have Kenneth Walker, Maffei, Cross, Charbonnet, Derek Hall, Njigba, Witherspoon, Murphy, Eminwari, and Zabel. We don't even have one that we can list on there in the last 4 years that's like, oh man, their whole team is homegrown.
Yep.
Badass dudes. It's crazy. It's the biggest contrast right there. And it showed its ugly head last night,
That's why this whole obsession with like not giving up picks for proven talent. Why?
Yeah.
It's obvious you can't draft. It's obvious that like you run into players in the later rounds, like players like Kittle and Fred Warner not being a first rounder, and other players, Juwan Jennings, was he a 7th rounder? Stuff like that. That you can't count on that, dude.
No,
you can't count on that kind of stuff. That's like happenstance. You know what I mean? Like, it's asinine, dude. Like, and I say dude a lot because I'm pissed. Like, I don't even know how. I don't even care about the game in Philly. I don't care.
No.
Because
it took all my excitement away. Honestly, that how bad they played last night just made me just lose a lot of my enthusiasm for these playoffs.
49ers.
And I have a feeling the players feel the same way too.
I'm glad. I am glad though that guys like Alfred Collins got a chance to play this year in CJ West. You got to say, bro, for as bad as we are on defense, he's been up and down all year, but Upton Stout is turning into something.
Oh, he might be the best draft pick of the entire class.
We were all down on him early in the year because he's been kind of sucky in coverage, but then you'll have games where he plays a lot better. But the secondary's been relatively healthy all year, bro.
Yeah.
We don't have a pass rush.
Yep.
Like, can you really punish the secondary for bad coverage? I mean, Jair Brown is
covered for 7 seconds. I mean, it's not
Oh, hold on a second. I gotta plug my.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't expect the secondary to sit there and cover for 20 seconds because the pass rush can't get there.
Exactly.
So it's like you can't punish them, but you can punish the safeties for their run defense, and you can punish Jair Brown.
Yeah,
he's allowed to be punished.
Did you happen to watch that Johnny Dell breakdown of that play? Just
yeah.
how
So it
bad.
was actually it was Farrell's fault, I guess. But
It was
there
both
was
of their faults. One didn't seal the edge, and one, I don't know what happened to Farrell.
Farrell got washed inside, and Jair had outside containment. But like I could see like he probably wanted to go inside because he saw that huge gap there. But that wasn't just the only play that he whiffed on. He had, I think 2 or 3 missed tackles. Tatum Bethune, I'm sorry. I know Larry loved the guy, but I am not a fan of him. I don't see him
Larry's
ever.
soured on a lot of guys since you've been watching him. He's
I
pretty
don't see a
pissed.
single game where Tatum Bethune doesn't have the medical personnel go out to treat him.
Constantly.
Isn't that a fact?
Constantly.
Like every single game, the dude needs to be helped off the field. Like, bro, you're replacing Fred Warner. You know how bad that looks? Like Fred Warner will play with one leg, and you're out there just, I need call, I need help. Like every single down or every single game. And then, he had 5 missed tackles yesterday. He was horrible yesterday. In coverage, he was horrendous. Gave up a passer rating of like 113.
How can you give up 18 yards on 3rd and 17?
19.
Was it 3rd and 19? They gave up 19 yards. Okay, so they gave
19 yards.
And then I love John Lynch in the press box flipping out, getting pissed. That's on you, homie. You drafted all this.
It is on you. You didn't do anything about it.
You didn't do anything at the trade deadline. So if you're going to be pissed at anybody, throwing your hands up because you were once a player and you understand how suck-ass players play, and when they're not good, because you were a really good player. You were a Hall of Fame player. That's on you, dude. You drafted all these cats. You decided to be cheap this year, not bringing people in free agency and bringing people during the trade deadline. So that's on you. If you're going to be pissed, throw your hands up at your players, you look like a fool because you're the responsible one. You can't, first of all, you can't win with a defense as bad as they are.
No. And now they're even worse going into next week because we have no linebackers left.
No linebackers.
So every single one is hurt. It's just like
49ers throwback. Yeah, we've talked about Pearsall. Pearsall to me needs to be traded and gotten rid of. There's nothing of value for him that he needs to stay on this team.
Yeah.
Other than he's a body for next year because we don't have anybody. So he's going to be here, of course. But what does it matter? He's never playing. How do you always hurt all the time? Every game.
Every single game. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it.
I don't understand the problem. Like, you weren't hurt in college, but now all of a sudden in the pros you can't stay healthy. Yeah. And half of his injuries aren't even contact injuries, bro. No. Nobody's crushing him. He's falling to the ground.
He's not getting laid out. Like, it's just
he tripped and fell on the sideline on a hard piece of whatever, and he banged his knee and he had a bone bruise, aka a PCL strain, and it's shelved him the whole year.
Yeah.
How about this? Go wear some knee pads.
Yeah.
Maybe put some weight on. Go eat some more chicken or friggin' steak or something. Like, I don't get it, man.
It's wild.
I'm sick. And I know this sounds really insensitive, so I'm going to preface it what I say. We got to stop what happened last year. That's no longer relevant.
No.
What happened last year was a tragedy, and I didn't count this against him last year. Anything. This year, however, it's all on him.
Yeah.
He was supposed to take this big step up, can't stay healthy, always hurt. He doesn't really scare anybody. What does he do? What does he do that is so scary that can't be replaced by like a 4th-round pick?
Nothing.
Juwan Jennings has outplayed him all season.
Yep.
Kendrick Bourne has outplayed him all season. Heck, Demarcus Robinson's outplayed him.
Yeah.
So what good are you?
Because he can stay on the field.
God forbid you stay healthy. Aaron, we're losing. Of course we're losing to Philly, dude. We got a chance in hell to win that game. All the players would have to fall off the edge of the earth for us to have a chance in that game next week. And the Niners are going to be like, oh, we need to adopt the mentality of nobody believes enough. Shut up. Shut up. Don't start that. I'm so sick of all that, like this, what's the word I'm looking for? Like this psychological, like
us against the world thing.
Us against the world. That's your fault.
Yeah,
That's your fault.
I'm just so disappointed in the lack of effort. Like the hype for this game was so high. The buildup was so high.
The fans were going crazy in the stadium. You could see it on television. You could hear it.
Yeah.
People were there, were like, this is the most hype we've seen this crowd in a long time.
Yep.
And that's what you put on the field. That's what people paid their hard-earned money to go see, a field goal in the
I just
biggest
don't
game of the
understand,
year.
like what was Kyle thinking? I don't get it. I don't understand his game plan. And he's just like kind of nonchalant up there, like, yeah, we like, were they doing something that you weren't expecting? That's why your offense couldn't move the ball. Like he was like, nah, it's
I was
pretty much
watching
what we thought.
something.
Like,
I was watching something on with Larry Kruger. He had a post game yesterday, and he was on with Damon Bruce today.
uh-huh.
Somebody made a good point. It was either a viewer or a person on the panel. They said, when everything's perfect, everybody's healthy, and everything's in place, Kyle's in his bag. They said the moment you take one player out of that equation, everything falls apart. We talked about that when guys like McCaffrey get hurt or Debo get hurt. You have all your offense predicated around one player. No wonder you're going to fall apart when that one player can't play. Like, I don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
nothing's ever going to be perfect,
Good
bro.
point.
Like, people get hurt. You have to
Very
be
good
willing to
point.
adjust. We're front runners. That's what we always been under Kyle. We're the type
Yeah.
of team that if we get up on you, especially in the past with our defense, you weren't coming back. But
Yep.
we're not a drop back pass team. We're not a 40 or 50 attempt a game type team. That's just not how our offense is built. Our offense is smoke, mirrors, motions, misdirection, play action. We're
Yep.
not Matthew Stafford, who can throw the ball 60 times in a game and throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's just not how we're built.
And they were even introducing the RPO and all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't see anything different in this game where like you're trying to confuse or like it was abysmal. Like they said, this was Kyle's worst offensive performance since his very first game back in 2017.
3 points, bro.
Yeah.
3
points.
That's inexcusable. You're not a genius if you can only. I know their defense is good. Okay. I know their defense is good. They ain't the 85 Bears, man. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not the monsters of the Midway in the 80s with the Bears. They're a really good team, and I respect the hell out of them. They were swarming all over yesterday, but everybody's gettable. Everybody's gettable.
They just played with more intensity, more fight, more physicality, more determination, more. They wanted it more than us. I feel like the Niners went into that game feeling like, oh well, we already made it to the playoffs. We're playing with house money. Either way, we do have a game next week, so it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like if this was a game to get into the playoffs, maybe the outcome would have been a little bit different. But I just felt like they feel like they already secured their spot, and either way, they're playing football next week.
Before I want to ask this real quick. Before I ask though, like one of the things that I have to say, and this is going to sound like I'm jumping off the bandwagon. Robert Saleh hasn't done a whole hell of a lot this year with what he's had. And I understand they've been banged up, but they don't learn. They don't fix. They don't stop making mistakes. They get worse. Like, oh, it's just a couple things here on the back end that we got to clear up, and we'll talk about it in meetings. Well, apparently nobody's listening. The effort yesterday on that touchdown, on that big 20-yard, was it Charbonnet around the corner? Clelin Ferrell was out racing the DBs that were in the secondary chasing down that play. So not only is there miscommunication, not only is there people not learning from their mistakes and continue to make mistakes, but the effort's not always there either.
The lack of effort.
Just throwing hands out on tackles. Like the tackling effort this year has been piss ass poor, abysmal.
Horrible.
Like you blitz a quarterback, Winters. Oh my God, he didn't stay in the same spot and he moved. Novel concept. Like
he's so bad at tackling.
They have this team has even their defensive line, they have no plan when they rush.
No.
Like, they imagine somebody's just going to stand there in place and not move when they go to throw. Like,
Yeah.
it's so sad. They have no plan. They don't break down and tackle. They have their fundamentals are trash. So as much as I love Robert Saleh, like he did a reasonable job this year, but who do we indict on the players continually make mistakes? Who do we indict on players' effort? Who do we indict on constant mistakes repeated every week that supposedly we're cleaning up, but we don't clean up? Like, who do we hold accountable for that? It's got to be Robert Saleh. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I give him way more of a pass. I mean, look at these guys that are starting. Like,
Yeah,
look at the Seattle defensive line compared to who we have starting on our defensive line.
agreed.
Like that's pretty crazy.
But that's what you've had all year, bro.
Yeah,
That's your reality.
You do. And especially these rookies, they're gonna go through growing pains, right? It's not just a straight trajectory of up. It's gonna be up, down, 2 steps up, 1 step down. It's gonna be, that growth curve growth. And
Yeah,
the thing is too, is like you have like Bryce Huff. He shouldn't be on the field for 4 downs. He's a rotational pass rusher, right? So like he's got that to deal with. Cleveland Farrell, he signed the dude what 5 weeks ago off somebody else's team.
yeah.
He's gonna make mistakes. Like Jair Brown is just so mistake prone in general. So that's not really his fault either. It's just there's just too many young, inexperienced. Like Eric Kendricks is playing linebacker now with who's the other guy,
Wallow? I don't even know who that was.
Who the fuck? like
I don't know who Wallow is.
But what is Robert Saleh supposed to do? I mean,
but they
his
came into
whole
this
thing, I guess, is just he doesn't want to give up explosives, and it's still happening, but he's just trying to keep it in front of him.
But they went into this year with no depth.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I talked about it with Sterling. I talked about it with Andre. I'm sure other content creators talk about it. They were so thin on this roster. Like, they couldn't get injured at all. And with the 49ers, that's not possible. 49ers throwback says, Aaron, are you forgetting turnovers being down, takeaways? Yeah. This team doesn't get any turnovers. The Gross Matos play where it's right on him. He's on top of it and he can't. How do you not recover that? Where's your spatial awareness, dude? Like, wake the fuck up when you're playing.
It's like, dude, that could have changed the entire game right there. And it's like, of course, we don't get the bounce, right? Like, we just don't get the bounce. We don't get, like, just hug it and it's yours. And it's a slippery fish, dude. Just popped right out. And there you go.
Yeah, and I understand that we've been down players all year, but it's just, to me, we didn't have a whole hell of a lot in the 2002 season. Was it 2002? Excuse me, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
One of those years we started slow and then we ended up going to the championship game against the Rams.
Yeah,
and we had Josh Norman as a corner that year, and Dre Fitzpatrick, I think, and somehow we still made it to the conference championship. Yeah. So this whole thing of, well, we can't win, like, it's a combination of injuries. It's a combination of the players that you bring in don't learn. They don't learn and they don't correct. And the only person I can really blame on them not correcting things is Saleh. Like, Saleh did an okay job this year, but he could have done better. I believe that. I truly believe that.
Yeah, it's hard, like even that year, Fred Warner was still on the team, and but like there's no leader on the defense. Like, yeah,
nobody.
Maybe Demo, but like there's no real quarterback. And Bethune can sit there and act like he is one, but when your play doesn't reflect your leadership, it's hard for guys to follow you, right? Like, if I'm gonna follow this guy into the fire, like, okay, Bethune, like, but he plays like shit. So like it's kind of be like there's no one for anyone to look up to. Like, Demo's the only guy, but he's a corner, and like the corner doesn't really drive the defense, right? It's got to be a D lineman or a linebacker. Those are the guys who lead the defense. And playing corner, yeah, you can try to get the guys, but it's not the same. It's really not the same. So he doesn't really have his quarterback on the field. You know what I mean? So I'm giving Saleh a hell of a lot more what's the word? whatever, but
A pass.
yeah, a
Or
pass. But Salah has had incredible injuries on his side of the ball. Kyle, right now, the offense, he's got a majority of it that's healthy.
They had enough players yesterday to score 14 points.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
absolutely.
You can't have an all-star team all the time.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that.
And if you're a genius play caller, that's why you get paid the big bucks, right? Like you find a way to win. Like if Phillip Rivers can score points on this defense, if
that's the point I was making a couple years ago.
Jacoby Brissett can score points on this defense, like
47 completions.
Yeah,
57 pass attempts. Yeah. There's no that's why I told you, and I was telling other people, and they're like, you got to believe, man. You don't believe. You're not a real fan. I kind of saw yesterday coming a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say that. People are like, you're not a real fan. You're not faithful. I saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
They were going to face a team who's going to shut their offense down. And yeah, their defense still played like trash yesterday.
Yeah. Well, they give 8 yards a carry or something. It was ridiculous.
Almost 200 yards rushing. Like they missed 2 field goals.
Sam missed 2 open touchdowns. Like
right.
he was our best player on defense was Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold played game manager yesterday.
Yeah. And but they were smart enough to put him in that position, right? They didn't want him to blow the game. So they put him in good positions to exploit the defense and take shots when they needed to, right? To get down the field. But for the most part, they played a very conservative game with Sam. And they're like, they didn't want him to lose the game for them.
Anytime they needed a big play, though, like a third down or a fourth down, or they needed to convert, what's the word? Converge, have a conversion. They were able to get it on the Niners.
Yep.
The Niners never stop momentum changing plays.
Yeah, they're playing like the soft zone or something. Like I don't know, like what
the run that you gave up 19 yards on.
That was crazy.
I laughed when that happened. I said, of course. I was like, of course.
Oh, I knew they were going to convert. I didn't think they were going to run it, but I knew they were going to convert. My buddy was like, "Oh, look, we're going to get the ball back." I was like, "No, we're not."
No, we're not.
This shit. Yeah, watch this.
And what's funny on the interception that Purdy threw? I hate myself for doing this. So we're down near the end zone, and I'm like, "Watch the ball get." I literally said, "Watch the ball get tipped." And they'll pick it off or something. I said it was like a fleeting thought in my brain.
Yeah.
And it happened exactly. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I didn't want that. I thought of it, but I didn't really think that was, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
As soon as that happened, dude, I'm like, the game's done. We're done.
Weird. It's like you can feel those kind of plays about to happen, right? Like it's just like a weird thing. Like you're like, oh, something bad's gonna happen here.
Right. You know when I feel, what really gets to me? And I flip and people, and that's the old man in me. I'm 46. Why are we celebrating constantly on basic tackles, basic plays? I am so sick and tired of D. Winters or Bethune or one of our DBs making a play and then having to run into the offensive backfield and post.
Yeah.
Like, you suck, dude. You're not good enough to do that. Get back in the huddle. Like, what are we doing, dude? I swear, it's like every time we do one of those things, we give up a huge play the next play.
Yeah.
A guy will make a tackle in the backfield on a run play, and they lose 3 yards. And it's like, oh, it's 3rd and 13. And they give up 15. You know what I mean? Like, it's constant.
This whole thing of D. Winters trying to beat Greenlaw is like driving me crazy. He does the same mannerisms as him and the boom, like, bro,
without any direct talent. Yeah, you suck.
Like you are nowhere near Dre Greenlaw. Okay, let's start playing a little bit better, then you can start mimicking some of his actions. But yeah, it's bad. The linebacker play for this team is absolutely atrocious, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
Yep, they decided Martin was going to be out because of his concussion, so we never got to see Nick Martin all year. Once again, a rookie that can't make it onto the field. Watkins can't make it onto the field. Why draft people?
Yeah. You blew half your draft, and they're just going to sit on the bench.
You don't have the cachet with how under talented your roster is to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it'd be different if, like, we're really deep and we're really healthy. Yeah, Watkins isn't needed. He can redshirt a year. The Niners do stuff like, even when they're not good, they still draft the same way, where they like just waste picks. They have this they make luxury picks when they can't afford to make luxury picks. You know what I mean? Like, they'll draft a guy like Rourke. That makes sense, but they do stuff like that all the time. And it's like, yeah, but we need somebody now. Like, stop with those picks. Like the Watkins, I'm sure all of us at some point before I met you, and you were probably on TikTok doing this, you probably made a video or talking about, the Niners drafted a wide receiver, but he's probably not going to get any playing time this year because Kyle doesn't trust rookies. Like, everybody knows this.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. You have talent in your building that you drafted, but you don't trust. You have a deficit of talent on the field because of injuries, but you won't put them on the field because you don't trust them. What do you have to lose?
Makes no sense.
I don't get it. You're not good enough to be that way.
Yeah.
This isn't when we had Greenlaw and Warner and Aziz Al-Shaair. Like, that was the best linebacking core in the NFL, hands down.
Yep.
And at one point we had Eric Armstead, and we had his name has escaped me, DeForest Buckner. That defensive line, when it was healthy in 2019, that defense was special.
Man,
special.
That was a good one. Yeah,
and them missing on Lance really screwed them talent wise.
Oh yeah,
and it's,
they would have ended up picking 3 other busts, but they just did it all in one swoop.
I think that there's some fans that fall for the "we'll be better next year" mentality.
Mm-hmm.
They refuse to be critical of the organization, and they choose to be optimistic, which is fine. You can live in delusion and not blame the team and not be pissed at them. If that makes you sleep better at night, that you just will not get mad at this team and you will continue to run with we weren't healthy this year. We're never healthy. And they don't do anything about it. They don't fix it. So it's not going to change until something's done about it. I'm sick. I'm sick of all the tropes and the cliches and all the backpedaling that we do. Like this, nobody's going to get fired, of course, in the front office or in the coaching staff. You know that.
No, yeah.
Well, things are going to be as is next year. So
get used to it.
Sometimes I feel like when there's somebody's job's on the line or somebody gets fired, sometimes it can instill a little bit of like motivation and fear into the players or other people within the coaching staff. But they're so safe.
Yeah.
Because we went into this year, we weren't really trying to compete. How do you say that to your players at the trade deadline when they're winning games? You're not good enough to make a free agent move at the deadline. You imagine that?
I know. Crazy. Fred Warner's working his ass off to try to come back, and that's the effort you put on the field. That is wild.
You're king on defense. You're leader, your voice, your energy, your everything on this team. Man broke his ankle and dislocated it and could come back. And then you got Ricky Pearsall playing being a bitch and freaking sitting on. I can't play.
He was limited all week, right, or whatever. And
I thought he practiced. A lot of people said he practiced.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he was limited. I think at least one of the days.
What happened?
I'm telling you, he takes himself out. He's the one that makes the decision. Like, nah, it's not good enough. I'm not gonna risk it. Like, all right, bro.
So Pearsall's a bum. He's kind of reached that. There's some people that will get after me and Mike and be like, you guys are ridiculous to think that he's a bust. What proof that he's not?
Yeah, what has he done?
Oh, well, I made a point. I said, well, he gets 9 catches and 84 yards and then he's injured for 4 games. Someone's like, well, yeah, in a full season, that would be like, I said, here we go.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Like,
that's not how it works.
He's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Here's another awesome draft pick. We need pass rush, right? But with our first-round pick this year, we pick a run-stopping defensive end in the top, 15? Really?
11. Yep.
You have no pass rush. But he's a scheme fit. Who cares? Stop trying to scheme fit everybody. Just get the best player available and figure out a way to use them. That's another
if you're
thing.
A good coach, you find a way to get the talent out of them, right?
My nephew always made a good point. He's like, I'm so sick of like somebody, he's not a scheme fit. And my nephew was always like, if you're a good of a coach as you say you are, you make somebody be a scheme fit. Exactly. You figure out a way to use somebody.
Yep.
To me, that just sounds like a coach that can adapt, or coordinators that can adapt. Like, you have a chance that I know there was pass rushers in this draft that we kind of went for, and we didn't. Then there's the year that we could have had Nick Benito, and we drafted Drake Jackson instead. Yep. That was another phenomenal miss by John Lynch. It's just like,
see, but are they asking Chris Kasarik? Like, is he the one that's like, yeah, this guy's better than Benito? You know what I mean? Like, they're asking somebody, and now I'm not having a lot of confidence in Chris Kasarik for him to evaluate talent, because we've drafted a lot of defensive linemen who have not panned out.
Nothing. They've done nothing. Yeah. The Frog and the Scorpion is a freaking awesome name. He says, don't worry, Kyle will draft another gadget receiver in the first round. Yeah. Didn't they draft that guy Burgeon this year to be a kick returner?
Oh, yeah. He was out of Montana State, I think.
And they cut him.
Yeah.
And we ended up trading for Sky Moore, giving up picks to go trade for Sky Moore.
Ridiculous.
When you drafted a guy, like, they just throw away draft picks. They don't care.
You might as well just trade for somebody that has the proven talent.
Everyone's like, I'm not going to give up a first-round pick for a guy at the deadline. Why not?
You're going to flush it down the toilet anyway.
You're going to miss anyways and not make the right pick. This whole like illusion where you got to hold on to these picks that you continue to suck at picking.
Yeah.
Instead of trading for talent, like proven talent.
Yeah, that's they need to get somebody from outside of the building to come in with a fresh set of eyes, a new scouting perspective on how they evaluate talent. You know, they should go to a rival. They should go to Seattle. They should go to the Rams. They should go somewhere, even the Eagles. Just go somewhere where they have a good eye for talent and try to steal somebody from them and pay them double and be like, hey, what are we doing wrong here? And have them fix it.
What was I going to say? What was it? Chris Kasarik. I'm over him. I'm over the wide 9.
Yeah.
It's time to make some changes. I don't know about you, but I'm like, all that noise, all the hubbub, all this Chris Kasarik, he's screaming and yelling at players and blah, 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 and then nothing happens.
Well, we don't have the personnel to run the wide 9 anymore. I mean, we don't have the all-star linebacking duo that can clean up and cover. We don't have the fast defensive ends that can get inside and the big bodies inside. I mean, maybe they're trying to do it with CJ West and Alfred Collins, but right now they don't have that type of defense. And I think Salah's not really running it right now. I see that he's rushing like 5 guys now up front and just trying to mix it up. So who knows what they're going to turn into next season, but this defense needs to turn over a lot of players. But I have a feeling we're going to have a long time to talk about that after next week.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a really long off season. Yeah. We still got to think. If we keep doing this, we got to think of a name for this show.
Yes, I know.
I had this one girl DM me on Instagram about making like overlays and intros, and I was just like, this off season's about to start. Like,
I know.
I'll hit you up in like August if me and Mike are doing this thing, and I'll spend the money to get an overlay and get a caricature and all this. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
did that last year where like I kind of put some money into it and got a name for everybody, and then like neither guy could do it this year, and I was just like, wow, that sucked.
Yeah.
So I enjoy doing this with you. It's some people might say, well, they both have the same outlook on the 49ers. It's not a good mix. You don't have to argue and have debates all the time in order to, I think,
Yeah.
produce like Larry Krueger for the most part. He sings the praises a lot of the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him kind of go at it and go after it, I love it when he does that. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't care about being popular in the building, but he also doesn't do it like for clicks like other people do, or they're kind of, rage baiters and stuff, or misery merchants or grifters. Like he'll
Mm-hmm.
do it when it's necessary.
Yeah.
Yesterday, after that game, was totally necessary.
Oh yeah,
It's not a
absolutely.
shtick. He's not doing it all the time. Like he went after everybody. I just there's just so much to be pissed off at yesterday, from
Yeah.
Pearsall not playing to the defensive effort to not being able to score more than 3 points. Like the biggest game of the year, you have a chance to get home field advantage and rest,
Yep.
and you can't do it. But at the same time, Mike, in a way, to be honest with you, I don't think they were good enough for the 1 seed, even if they got it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a balanced enough team to
Yeah.
justify getting the 1 seed. Because you get the 1 seed, you expect the team to be like the top of its conference, right? Or at least have an elite level defense or something. Seattle has that defense. Their offense might be kind of middle of the pack, but they got that defense. So you can understand it. The Niners are just a scrappy bunch of backups and, guys filling in, and a defense with no names and no talent, and an offense that has to be perfect on every single game, or they'll get beat. Kyle has to call the perfect game with everybody healthy, or he gets beat. He can't adjust or find ways to change things in the game plan to compensate for a lack of a player being out injured.
Yeah.
When you take all of it into consideration and the injuries and everything, like they very well with that defense could have gotten to a game against a team like the Rams or a team with an offense and get beat in their first divisional game. Like,
Yeah.
so like I said before the stream, I'm like, I don't even know how to feel this year. Like, because you're selling us that we're not going for it, and you're selling us that we're going on the cheap and we're cutting cost. But we have an easy schedule, and we had and had the ability to win 12 games this year. Like what exactly were we trying to do? Were we trying to like win, but at the same time stay true to the plan of being cheap and replenishing through the draft, and then if whatever happens, I don't know. It's like I got excited for no reason, and now I'm here holding my waiting for next season to happen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yesterday felt like an elimination game already.
we
It
did.
just felt like that was the one that took us out of everything. And I mean, I enjoyed the hype leading up to it. I was getting excited. Me and some friends,
Sure.
we're getting it's that's the fun part of it. And
I
like
actually was getting excited yesterday too. I finally gave
I
in.
knew deep down inside that we were probably going to lose that game, but I just didn't know if we were going to lose it like that. That was the
Like
worst part of it.
non-competitive.
Yeah, like I could see us like, oh, okay, we lost at the very end of the game because we gave up a last second touchdown. Like, hey, it is what it is. That's got to be expected. But as long as if the game was competitive, I would have been somewhat happy, honestly, because I was expecting that. But for them to just come out with all this hype building up around that game and just put out an absolute dud, that's what's concerning to me, because that carries over to the next game against Philly, and all that momentum is gone. Because you can have a good game against Seattle, lose a hard, tough fought game, like, hey, yeah, they're the better team. They have this crazy defense. They have Nick Jigba and all these great running backs and all this stuff. And hey, we just came up short. It is what it is. We didn't have Trent Williams. We didn't have Pearsall. Kittle's banged up. All right, cool. We live to fight another day. But for them to come out like that and it was just so disappointing. And now I think it's a good segue to go into Philly, right? This is the game next week, going into the link against a rested team that's ready to probably beat the shit out of us. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
they're gonna try to go on a playoff run, even though they have a pretty awful offense because they have a top, what do they have, a top 5 defense? They have a really good defensive line. Niners offensive line is struggling, or at least it wasn't up until yesterday when Trent Williams was out. Trent Williams anchors that line. Without Trent Williams, they are awful.
Yeah.
Trent Williams makes so much of a difference when he plays that it's not even funny. Somebody asked about the offs. First 49er Media said he was at the game yesterday. How in the world, if you're still in here, what was the energy like towards the end of the game? Like from where it was in the beginning?
I'm sure it was crickets in there. I even saw, like while the broadcast was on, like you could tell the crowd was completely out of the game, like pretty early on. Like initially, yeah, they were all hyped, but then you just saw people sitting there like, bro, what is happening? And I'm sure they paid a lot of money for those tickets.
For cool rally, pal. He said he asked about the offseason, O-line, wide receiver, D-line. Yeah, they need to do something about linebackers too. 49er Media.
Yeah.
They have a linebacker deficit too.
Big time.
People were still having energy in my section, but I was on the verge of crying. I don't get that way anymore. It's been a long time. I think it was the 1997 NFC Championship game against it was in a rainy game against the Packers at Candlestick. I cried after that game, and my dad was just like, dude, you can't do this to yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. You can't care more than the players.
Yeah.
So, and then I was a psycho for the longest time watching games where I would throw stuff across the room and, break things. Now I just sit in misery. People are like, how do you watch games? I'm like, well, I turn the sound down and I just sit there. I'm like, I just try not to react as much as possible.
Yeah.
Or I maniacally laugh at the absolute failure on a 3rd and 17 play where you give up 19 yards. I didn't throw anything. I laughed, dude. I'm like, of course that happened. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Going into the offseason, I think the one thing the Niners got to do is they got to open up their pocketbooks and make a move on whatever area that you think you need to add money into, whether it's defensive line, go get a proven pass rusher, make a splash in the offseason, trade away your first-round pick and go get a Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Do something. And hit it. You got to hit it in the draft again. You have to nail next year's. I think our draft this year was okay, except for the Michael Williams pick.
Yeah, I didn't like that pick.
I thought that it was a stupid pick, considering we need edge rush, and you're drafting a run fit, scheme fit defensive end who sets the edge. Huh?
Makes no sense.
So, Michael, I have hopes for him. I think Upton Stout's going to be a player. I think Collins is going to be a player. CJ West, I'm not sure on, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, CJ is probably going to be like a rotational guy. I have a feeling.
Who else? Who else did we draft?
Siegel,
he's no good.
Not yet. It's hard to judge these rookie safeties with this horrible pass rush, right?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, Siegel.
I'll wait. I'll wait on Siegel.
Yeah, we'll have to wait on that one. What happened? Somebody deactivated. What did you deactivate? Your social media?
Huh.
Oh, you're probably smart for that. I think I need to do that. But Philly next week. I don't think we're gonna win.
Yeah, me neither.
And I think there's always a chance. You always have a chance because they can't score. They haven't been able to score with regularity this year, their offense. But our defense is so bad, I think it tips the scales.
Yeah.
Like if we had any average defense, like a defense that was average, like middle of the pack, and the Niners technically in some of their numbers they are, but I'm talking legitimately, not just analytics and bullshit. If they were an actually middle of the pack defense with their offense, yeah, I could see it. But their defense is so bad, and I don't care what they did against Seattle. That I feel like that's an anomaly.
Yeah.
that's not the constant. That's like like an offshoot performance, right? I just don't see in my mind where they're the Super Bowl champs. They're looking to repeat. They got to go the hard way, but no one, there's nothing that says that the Eagles can't go on another run. It's all about, like you said, and you've said as well, when you get hot. You could be hot early on in the season or suck early in the season, and people are like, wow, man, Jalen Hurts, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And then you go on a huge playoff run where he plays out of his mind and the defense plays well, and all of a sudden they're right back in the Super Bowl. So,
yeah. I just what really bugged me, honestly, was what George Kittle said in his presser. They're like, "Oh, who do you prefer to play?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm a Cardinal fan." Like, why would you put that out there? Like, I don't know.
You're afraid to compete.
Yes, like you're afraid to go to Philly or Chicago, right? Like that's pretty much what he's saying. Like, I don't want to go play them. Like, dude, you don't say that. Like, you keep that. Like, hey, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. We'll be ready, right? That's what you're supposed to say. Not
even if you're lying.
No, of course you're going to be lying. Yeah, the obvious is you want what the Rams have. You want to play the Panthers so you can get that's a bye week for them. So for him to be like, yeah, I'm a Cardinal fan. I hope Budda Baker has 3 pick sixes and all this stuff. Like, bro, why are you putting that out there? Philly's laughing at you because they're like, this dude's scared of us. They are scared to come play us in our own home in the cold weather. This dude is scared. Like, great.
Yeah,
That's
that wasn't a good
way.
look. I thought about it yesterday too, but it didn't really like in my brain until you just said it. Like, wow, that was a really stupid ass thing to say.
Yeah, why would you put that out there? So like now it's like you can see their confidence going into this game was already low because they're scared to go to Philly or Chicago when he said that. And it's like, all right, cool. So now we're gonna go to Philly. We're gonna play against a superb running back with no linebackers and
but the team that has a really good offensive line.
Yeah, and a defense with the player we should have picked over Ricky Pearsall, which is Cooper DeJean. And yeah, Brock Purdy better light it up because I have a feeling this is going to be a double-digit victory for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Media, we talked a little bit earlier about Watkins and Jordan James, and pretty much what we said was the Niners treat every draft like a luxury draft. And that they couldn't afford this year to come into a season with the amount of talent that they let go out of the building and plus the injuries and still treat it like you're redshirting a bunch of players. They weren't talented enough on this team. They have a talent deficit. And to play it like we're redshirting, like we're like when it's the late 80s Niners and they draft the player like Brent Jones, even though they had I forget who the tight end was back. He was in the late 80s. There was a tight end that was on the team that transitioned and got rid of, and then Brent Jones. But that, like, they were winning and still, like, preparing themselves to move off somebody when they got older. When they don't have talent, draft a guy and then sit him when the guy in front of him is not any good, or the guy in front of him and can't stay healthy ever. So, play your guys unless they're hurt. Where did he say? Yep. Totally. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Not much happiness in this stream. So if you watch this back on replay, you're probably going to get really mad at us for being negative. Yeah. So we'll probably be back next week to recap whatever happens. Me and you, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a big roundtable with Sterling and Dre. Maybe we'll do like a end of the year off season look ahead or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But everybody take care. Thanks for being part of the chat. I appreciate it. It means a lot when people come in here and ask questions. And until next time, everyone, stay safe and healthy and go Niners.